Today I wanted to share with you a few Halloween books since Halloween is coming up and we're in the fall season. So the first one I have is called Five Little Pumpkins. The pictures were drawn by Dan Yacarino. Five little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." And the fifth one said, "I'm ready for some fun." Ooh went the wind and out went the light, and the five little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Now is the time of year when you're going to see lots of pumpkins on porches, at pumpkin patches, and different things. Let's look at this. There are five pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like how each of these pumpkins has a different expression on his face. If you get a chance to carve a pumpkin, you could make him happy, sad, surprised, even scared. I like how the pumpkins each get a chance to share their thoughts and their opinions. They seem to be having a lot of fun in this book. So, I'm going to tell it again with a few hand motions. So this is going to be our gate, and these are going to be our pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." And the fifth one said, "I'm ready for some fun." Ooh went the wind and out went the light. The 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. I have one other book. This one's called A Halloween Scare in Louisiana. Every state and every region has their different sort of traditions, their different towns, their different ways of celebrating different things. This says, "Prepare if you dare, a Halloween scare in Louisiana." It's written by Eric James and illustrated by Marina Leray. Illustrated means she drew the pictures. Prepare if you dare for a tale full of thrills. The time Louisiana gave everyone chills. A night filled with sights that are best left unseen. You ready? You sure? This was my Halloween. The werewolves howled loudly. The moon shone so bright. I stayed in my bedroom. The curtains shut tight. My heart started pounding. My knees felt so weak. But being a brave kid, I just had to peek. There he is, peeking out of the window. I pulled back the curtains, my mouth open wide. An army of monsters had gathered outside. They staggered and stumbled and lurched down the streets with bags full of cookies and candy corn treats. Emerging from sewers and houses and stores came creatures and critters with ravenous roars. Then more came along from all over the state. They filled up the streets at a dizzying rate. The big and the little, the tall and the small, from Shreveport and Houma, Westminster and Ball, all gathered together for one spooky night to seek out the living and give them a fright. The thunder clapped loudly with terrible booms. The witches dodged lightning and clung to their brooms. The two-headed doggies tried chasing their tails, and banshees let loose with their hideous wails. The vampires hung out on the streets in their gangs and grinned just to show off their pearly white fangs. The mummies moaned loudly and swayed side to side, while Frankenstein stomped about town with his bride. A creature from sulfur came causing a stink. He'd had too much sulfuric acid to drink. I got the wrong month, said the creature when sober. Mardi Gras happens in March, not October. Mardi Gras is a festival we have in Louisiana in the spring. A frog out of rain did his best to convince the ladies of Nola that he was a prince. They kissed him, and did a young prince take his place? Nope, just a frog with a smile on his face. That was a Halloween trick for sure. The creepies were crawly, the crazies were crazed. The Lafayette zombies had eyes that were glazed. The ogres from Lake Charles were ugly as sin, with big bulging noses and warts on their chin. The ghouls danced about but were lacking in soul. The gargoyles could rock, and the headless could roll. Although the whole spectacle seemed to spell doom, I foolishly thought I'd be safe in my room. But then something happened that made my heart jump. From somewhere below me, I heard a big thump. I froze for a moment, as quiet as a mouse. Yes, I could hear noises from inside the house. I put on my slippers, I pulled on my robe, I shook like a leaf, but I don't think it showed. Then slowly but surely I crept down the stairs, preparing myself for the biggest of scares. My hands trembled wildly. I opened the door. I still shudder now at the horrors I saw. The stereo spat out some hideous sounds, and dozens of monsters danced wildly around. The sight was horrific. It made my skin crawl. These monsters were having a Halloween ball. And right in the middle, one monster loomed tall, the hairiest, scariest monster of all. He turned around and saw me. I fell to my knees. I'm not very tasty. Don't eat me, please. He ran over. He beamed ear to ear and broke free from the huddle and gave me a big monster cuddle. At last we have found you, he said with a smile. From Ruston to Gretna, we've looked for a while. We came here to give you your wonderful prize. He held up a trophy in front of my eyes. A prize? And for me? I replied with a grin. But what did I enter, and how did I win? You've won the first prize for the costume you're wearing. It even scares me, and I'm tip-top at scaring. This isn't a costume. I'm just dressed as me. Exactly. The scariest thing you can be. A small human child with a cute button nose. Your teeth are so shiny. You've only 10 toes. No hair on your face. No horns on your head. The whites of your eyes are not glowing or red. A bone-chilling costume. A horrible sight. A worthy ensemble for Halloween night. We partied together until the moon set. A Halloween night that I'll never forget. And next year, I won't want to hide in my bed. The monsters won't scare me. I'll scare them instead. So I hope you've enjoyed these Halloween stories. We'll have some more later. And I hope you will have a Halloween night that's full of fun and not full of scares.